What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. We are doing a takeover slash review today for Quongo, level 59. And yeah, he reached out to me and I thought his account was particularly interesting. So let's take a look at it. But first, how do you guys get involved in this? Well, first, I do these monthly, at least minimum one takeover reviews through my Discord. I do have a channel and a forum set up for people that are applying. Keep in mind that the queue is pretty massive and it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get one, but it is something to allow for myself to have some, consistent content, and it also helps out members of the community for free. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys check out my Discord in the description below. You guys can hop on in. There's a channel for it and there's instructions for all that stuff. So yeah, if you guys are interested, there it is for you guys. But let's jump into Quongo's account here. Alrighty, so here is some context. So he's a 50-50 mix player, PC and mobile. He does use the Hell Hades optimizer. He says how long he's been playing. He says he started 2 accounts. His first account was in April of this year. And he started this second account, which is day 150, 160th right now. So still relatively new account, about 5 months old. How active are you in game? He plays about 2 or 3 hours a day, prioritizes some of the standard resources like Clan Boss, Doom Tower, and whenever you can push Cursed City, for example. Spending habits, he spends about $200 a month. He said more updated amount he spent was probably closer to $2,000. So his account's 5 months old, spent closer to about $2,000. Said he was chasing man eaters and stuff on some events, so he spent some money on shards and spent some money on blessings. Key areas to improve: he wants to improve his clan boss, and then some dungeon stages he needs some help on as well. Seems like a dedicated player that's done a lot of research, and he's hoping that others will learn from mistakes he's made in the past, and hopefully he will learn some from this video. So let's jump right into it. Let's see if we can help Quongo here. Basically just prioritizes and organize his account a little bit. Sometimes it helps just to have somebody, basically tell you the obvious things that sometimes you need to hear. So let's jump right into this. Level 59, you don't really expect too much from a level 59, but he did say he invested about $2,000 into this account. So that is pretty significant, especially for a very early account. So that money should go pretty far, in my opinion. So let's check out his portal here. Let's see what he's got going on. He's got 1,500 mystery shards, which is a good sign. That means he can handle, for the most part, half of a champion chase if he so chooses to. He's got basically no shards here. He's got 5 primals ready to go. But this doesn't look good for me in terms of being able to handle a fusion. Of course, if he's a spender, he can just spend money to buy some shards to finish off fusion events if he needs to. But ultimately, I think everyone would, appreciate being able to do whatever fusion they want without actually having to spend money, and only spending money on, very special events that they feel really strongly about, for example. But in this case, you need to be a little bit more disciplined with saving some shards. Obviously, not being able to hit Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss is going to hold you back a little bit here. So we'll work on that and see if we can get you to that plateau for you. What do you got here in terms of fusions? Mikage is still active. Razen still active. That's fine. No active fragment fusions there. Yeah, okay. Not too much going on. I mean, level 59. Great Hall. He's 48 and 9. Today is Saturday. So yeah, this is not looking very good. He definitely needs to put more emphasis, more activity into his Great Hall if he wants to pick up some easy stats. These are basically just easy stats you use to boost up your champions so that they can perform better in all areas of the game. So this is definitely something that you need to invest some more time into. Don't expect you to have too much live arena action here. Yep, definitely none. So yeah, definitely need some more progress there. But again, level 59, can't expect too crazy from him. In terms of what he's got in the tavern, he's got a little bit of brews. Books, not really anything, but that's kind of okay. Chickens, no chickens to speak of, really. Sitting on 1 million silver and just under 2k gems. Nothing too crazy. Forge, he's got materials for items, but he's got no mats. That tells me his faction wars is kind of hurting. Faction wars is hurting right now. All right, if you're going to be a spender and you're going to be spending money, I would advise you to be spending on these forge passes. These forge passes are good value. because they give you a ton of gear. And if you're a spender already, gear is, in some cases much more important than champions sometimes, right? So you need, not only do you need champions, you need the gear as well. And yeah, instinct is not bad gear. It's basically the closest you got to like a damage set that you can buy from the forge pass. And yeah, you have the Magi steel to make the gear, so that's that's a good sign, right? So forge pass definitely something I would recommend for a spender, especially early game spender, just to jumpstart the gear. So yeah, 0 stars on Lizardman, that's very concerning. 4 stars on Skinwalkers. Yeah, you definitely need to start doing some progress here on the faction wars. It's, even if you don't consider Lydia a great, a necessary champion, just getting higher up into the stages means that you can farm more materials so that you can craft better gear, right? The perception gear is very important, especially early on. But yeah, you just can't craft any right now. And you have tons of Magi steel. And also the crafting part also gives you silver back, right? So it's actually a very big part of just progressing through the game. So you definitely need to do that. Let's take a look at his arena performance. So he is in gold 5, which is a good sign. What kind of arena teams are you playing? I mean, this is a super viable team, right? Like, you don't need ninja here. Yeah, you don't need ninja here. You can put like Necrit. And I mean, this is a super viable team. Yeah, you go boost. I mean, ideally Suzanne is a 60, right? And then you just go nuke into the Wukong. Attack up would be better. Eventually you get Arbiter, and then you can replace maybe Suzanne. But yeah, at this point, I mean, you could even do like something like this, like Seeker just for the boost, strip and stun, and then just bombs away. Just something like that, right? Just quick and easy. Pick some easy teams and go pick up the medals, right? Bronze 3, not too bad, I guess. Not too bad. You're moving up. At least you're not bronze 1, so you're moving up a little bit. Just keep working on this. I would expect you to stay in bronze for a little while, but do what you can here. Pick up the Drexar fragments. Make sure you pick these up every day, just because they don't stack up. You can't buy 100 of these in one day, for example. But yeah, definitely do these for some free goodies here. It's just adding resources where you can. First City, he said he's struggling a little bit, but it's to be expected that you struggle a little bit. If you can clear like normal with your level 59 roster, that's really good. Like, don't beat yourself up over Cintranos too hard in the beginning. It's actually very difficult. Siege, get whatever you can from Siege and get out. At this stage in the game, it's very hard. Let's jump into the box here and let's see what we're working with here. So he said he spent $2,000 in the game. Let's see what we're working here in terms of champions. 6-star Ninja looks great. Ninja was a free champion, so it's not like you bought Ninja or anything, but 6-star Blessing, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is a very viable build. He is in, what has he got? Random pieces? That's fine. Random pieces is fine. Brimstone's good. War Master's good. Masteries look good. So like, yeah, Masteries look good. No complaints there. No complaints there. Brimstone, awesome. And the build looks solid. A little bit slow for my liking, but at this stage in the game, I mean, this is a very solid build. Good for clan boss, good for various areas of the game. Necrit here, we have him in Relentless. Not particularly super quick, but a decent build as well. Decent build. Gear not fully maxed out or anything like that. He's still running 3-star amulet. Don't 16 this. Don't 16 this. Yeah, you need to put some energy, put some effort into farming up some gear. Yeah, you can't be running 3-star gear at this point. So he is fully booked with Cruelty. Maybe not Cruelty. Depends where you're using him, I guess, but probably wouldn't run him in Cruelty. I guess maybe if you're using him for bosses, a 4-star Cruelty isn't too bad. He is running Giant Slayer on him, so maybe for some extra damage here. But yeah, I guess it might be for a clan boss or something, but it might be a reason. But yeah, 1, 2, 3. Actually, he's running 3-piece Relentless, so it's not even a full Relentless set. So it's just broken sets. Sorry, it's just broken sets with an Immortal. Okay. Okay, let's see what his Wukong's packing here. He's packing a 6-piece Slayer set. 6-piece Slayer set. It's going to give him 30% ignore on the AoE. So the A2 is considered a single target. And I don't believe the splash damage benefits from Slayer. It's a single target and then will attack all remaining enemies. Let me know in the comments below if it does. I haven't done a lot of testing on Slayer's abilities because I don't have Slayer gear on my account to test. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you think Wukong's ability will splash and get this bonus from the Slayer set. But yeah, Slayer gear here, 195, crit capped, a little bit accuracy, not too much. I mean, he's probably, yeah, he's really like scraping the bottom of the barrel with these accessories here. Crit rate gloves. Brimstone. The accuracy is a little bit low for any 200 accuracy is going to be low for Brimstone application. For like Ultra Nightmare, it's too low, for example, if you're going to use him there. But I don't know where you're using him there. But 200 seems a little bit low for most things. Running War Master, probably going to take Helm Smasher here if you're using him for nuking purposes. So I would switch that to Helm Smasher. But otherwise, I mean, you prioritize the correct stats, right? So you got speed, you got crit rate, you got crit damage, and then the accuracy. Maybe a bit low on, you know, obviously all of those stats. But yeah, definitely on the right track. And like I said, switch War Master to Helm Smasher if you're using him for damage. What do you got after? You got Hatatsu, probably for Clan Boss, right? Clan Boss, Hatatsu, 200 speed, you got good defense, you got good accuracy for an Ultra Nightmare. He is almost fully booked. You probably want the extra 5% chance for Leech, depending on your Clan Boss. Phantom Touch here. Keep in mind that Phantom Touch is based on bonus damage proportionate to champion's attack. So I believe Hatatsu is defense based. Yes, defense based. So you're not going to stack a lot of attack on him. So maybe the Phantom Touch is not the best. Maybe, you know, Hatatsu could be Cruelty, for example. That might work. But yeah, War Master on him seems fine. Yeah, we'll take a look at your Clan Boss team, see if we can improve it. But if Hatatsu is there, Hatatsu is a great Clan Boss champion. We got Skull Crusher here, 172. Looks like a Skull Crusher built for Clan Boss. So let's see, he's got Commanding Presence, strengthens your team's aura. Okay, aura strengthening. War Master looks fine. I mean, what I see here is that these guys don't have lifesteal. They don't have any way to heal up. So if Hatatsu fails the leech, then that's going to be pretty bad news, right? Pretty bad news. And if you're running Hatatsu for leech, you probably want to run him with support tree. Go for Master Hexer to increase the duration of the leech, increase the duration of his decreased attack, because he does leech, decrease attack, and then he has buffs, right? So he definitely benefits a lot from having the support tree. So you can go down to Master Hexer and then you go down to Lasting Gifts. Obviously you lose a bit of the mitigation, but he's pretty stacked up, right? Like he has, you know, 5,500 or whatever defense, so you could get away with the support tree on this guy. That might be something I recommend. Again, we'll take a look at the Clan Boss team, what we're working with here. I assume it's going to be something like Skull Crusher, Hatatsu, Ninja's definitely going to be there for sure. And there's, you know, it could go either way with the other champions. I would expect Taragi to be there. I guess since he's not geared up, he's not there, but I would definitely expect him to be there. So you probably run these two, Hatatsu, Ninja, and then you would probably run maybe, let me see here. I guess you could run Frozen Banshee just for some extra poison damage. Either way, the common theme here is that no one has built-in healing, which is a problem, right? So you're really relying on the leech here. Overall, like just based on his box, he's level 59. He's only have, you know, he doesn't have a lot of champions that are 60 and ready to go. Like I can see like a lot of these champions are built for 60 to be in his Clan Boss team. And, you know, one of these guys not even geared out. So he's definitely, it feels like he's lacking gear. Like he's got 12, like how many champions are we in here? Who has full 16 gear? Ninja. That's it. Ninja, I mean, Wukong's close. Everyone out like 16 gear on a Skull Crusher, he probably needs it for clan boss. 16 gear, half 16 gear. I guess he's running Claude in his clan boss team, maybe. Claude 238. Why is he running Claude? Shield, increase speed. I don't know why he's running. Let's see. But yeah, you get my gist, right? Like we're like 7 champions deep, and then he's already running out of gear for his roster. So this is something where, you know, if you're a spender, like I said, picking up a Forge Pass definitely can help. The Forge Pass gives you over 200 crafts, and they're going to be like 5 or 6 star pieces. So you instantly get some usable gear right away, usually. So I think it's decent money to spend instead of spending money on energy, for example. Spending money on gear is perfectly good, especially when you have a roster like this. Like you got champions, right? You got champions. You got Odin, you got Suzin. These guys aren't 60 yet, so you're probably working on those, but these guys should be 60, and they're just really, really good champions. Jareg could help you in clan boss. We have to take another look at that. Otherwise, these champions that are at 50 without gear, it feels like wasted resources. These guys should be at least geared out to handle faction wars. It's incredibly important to do your faction wars, even just for like small materials, so that you can craft it and then sell it for silver. So I can see you only have 1 million silver. Obviously, you can't level up gear that way. But this is something that is free, right? Like faction wars is free. You just do it regardless of whatever level it is. You progress in however you can, and that should be something you should be prioritizing. Like leaving 50s that are fully like that are, you know, ascended and all that stuff without gear. It feels like a bit of a waste, to be honest. And yeah, like for some reason you have 2 Eris here, which is kind of interesting. Not gonna lie, a little bit interesting here. You know, Constantine, I mean, not the best void pull here. You did pull Suzin, assuming you won Odin. But yeah, Constantine, not the best void here. He pulled some pretty bad non-voids. Pretty bad. Like they're not, yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. I mean, Chamford's okay, but Deliana's okay. And you got King Galkabar and Roxam and Altan. Altan's particularly bad. The other ones are okay. But yeah, some bad luck there, right? You did pull Necrit, which is pretty good luck. And I would actually say that you actually don't have very good luck with the non-void pulls. Like, what did you pull of value that is non-void? Like nothing, I guess. The voids you did better. The voids you did better. You can sleep better at night knowing that your voids paid off a little bit better. What else here? You didn't get a seer. What else here you got? Didn't get a seer. Don't have a man eater. Ooh, no Demitha. I mean, I see, you know, I see some void epics here, right? I see some void epics here. You probably bought like 100. I would say 100 shards, maybe. Yeah, you probably bought 100 shards. Maybe 150 shards, somewhere around there. But yeah, I don't see a lot of the super strong carry void epics here. And then the non-void epics I don't really see. Like I don't see like Ugo for Hydra. I see Seeker, which is good. You do have Seeker at least. That can help you build some teams once you get the other key pieces. But yeah, let's take a look at the clan boss team and see what we're working with and see if we can improve on that. All right, so hopping into his clan boss team just to have a quick look here. Quongo, 24 million damage on this team. Tatsu, Skull Crusher, Ninja, Claude, and Necrit. Based on what I see, I don't expect this to be speed tuned, just because Claude does have the increased speed buff, and he's sitting at 238. I don't expect him to be possibly running 4-3 on this team. Also, extra turns from Necrit makes it pretty difficult to speed tune teams. So I mean, this team probably doesn't work on, you know, affinity for sure. But he does have Ninja, which is a damage powerhouse. But 24 million from this, which would mean it's a 3-key. It's a 3-key, so it kind of works. A 3-key Ultra Nightmare kind of works if it's consistent. Let's see what we can do to make it a little bit more consistent, or at least suggest something that might work a little bit better. Okay, just having a quick look at the optimizer and looking at your options, you actually don't have too many options, obviously, because you don't have that many champions actually. But based on what you're doing right now is actually pretty good. So I can only offer minor suggestions off of what you're doing. You don't really have a very viable block debuff champion other than Necrit. I do see you did spend some resources on your Quorgan here with the full books, but he's not going to be the answer for you because of his he doesn't really, he has this, but it's on a 4 turn, the block debuff, so it's not necessarily the most the best option for you, but he could work if you really wanted this to work on all affinities. My suggestion would be probably to basically, you know, just deal with not being able to do you know, certain affinities properly. But I don't mind Necrit in this team just because he does offer you some extra protection. He also gives you a little bit of damage. What I would suggest is maybe sub Necrit out directly for Taragi. So Taragi, he also gives you a bit of shielding, similar to Beast Feeder here. So Taragi also gives you the shield. He also gives you ally protection. So ally protection actually reduces the damage that your champions take significantly. Taragi is also very good because he actually places a decreased attack as well on his A1. And since you do have the Skull Crusher here, having strong A1s works out really well. So it gives Taragi more chances to land his attack down. This takes pressure off of Hatatsu because Hatatsu can definitely miss this. And if he misses it, you know, it's going to be a 3% chance to miss it usually. If you're properly stacked up on accuracy. If he misses it, you're probably dead. So having a backup attack down definitely helps. Taragi bringing the ally protection gives your whole team a lot more survivability, and his shield gives you a lot of extra, you know, again, survivability, just because you do lack the healing from lifesteal, for example. What I would suggest here is probably finish off Hatatsu's books in his A1 to give him the extra 5% chance for the leech, which is masteries up, so you can get Master Hexer, so you can get extra turns applied to his attack down and his leech, and then lasting gifts to get extra turns from his increased defense. Similar idea to Taragi as well, since he is fully mastered. Probably go down to lasting gifts, extra turns for his ally protection, and then Master Hexer for his poisons and attack down, increased duration. You could also give him boost on his shielding, for example. If you want to go that route, that works well if you're totally fine with his accuracy stats. Other than that, in terms of prioritizing your champion builds a little bit, Hatatsu here at 54 or 5400 defense, you can probably trim off a little bit of defense on him and give him a little bit more HP, maybe 40,000 HP. The HP is not important for the stun. Defense is important for the stun, but the HP is important for him to soak up some hits on the AoEs. So definitely give him a little bit more HP there. Just trim down the defense a little bit. Beyond 4,500 defense, you start losing, suffering from diminishing returns. So you're not going to get as much damage mitigation for basically the effort that you put into adding more defense. So definitely focus on HP at that point. I like the stat spread on Skull Crusher here. 4k defense with good amount of health is very important because you need his health just to come back up because he's soaking a lot of damage from the AoEs. He's not going to take the stun too often. Really liking Ninja's 3,000 defense here, making him as tanky as possible for the clan boss, which is really, really nice. I like to see that as well. You're going to be going down a similar route here if you want to gear Taragi. You want to gear him with, you know, about 4,000 defense with good amounts of HP. Pretty similar stats that you want on your Necrit, on your Taragi, but Taragi is going to want some accuracy as well so that he can land his attack down and poisons. But yeah, I would try this team out, sub out Necrit, put in Taragi, and see if you can improve. I don't think you're going to be able to 2-key with this team unless you get some maybe better gear. At least consistently, at least. But I don't think it's too far off. I don't think it's too far off in terms of how to improve. I'm not sure about Skull Crusher and why he's in commanding presence. I would probably take this out and just give him, for example, Phantom Touch, just so he can do some extra damage. I know Phantom Touch scales off of an attack, but he'll still get a little bit of damage out of Phantom Touch. And then one champion in Cruelty is basically all you need. You could go with Taragi. for the cruelty stat, or you can go with Hatatsu for the cruelty stat and then just leave Phantom Touch on somebody else as well. But yeah, at this point, I think you got basically the best team you can from your roster in terms of clan boss. And it looks like you're doing okay, right? You got a 3-key Ultra Nightmare going on, so good for you. You're working on it. It's gonna be, it's a work in progress, but you got it going on here, so all good on that front. We already quickly mentioned your arena team. I would probably drop Ninja here, even though he is your best gear champion, and then just put Necrit in his place. You will go first, Susan into your damage dealer, and then he will just nuke. Let's see how this team actually plays out. I gotta pick somebody that's a team that's a little bit more viable for you to play against here. Let's play against this speed team here. Let's try. Let's see what happens here. All right, so they go first. All right, we're in trouble. All right, that didn't work out very well. Let's try this team. Okay. Okay. I mean, it kind of works. I mean, without increased attack, it really means that Wukong and Ninja are not going to be doing a lot of damage. You don't have decreased defense or anything like that on that squad, so having 2 damage dealers makes sense. Eventually, these guys at 60 would be really helpful. I wouldn't even mind using Seeker for the increased attack, like I said in the beginning. Let's check out what kind of gear we're working with here, because I've been talking a lot about the lack of gear on this account. Looking through some of the gear, I mean, 5-star rare pieces, I kind of expected, I guess. You do have some pieces, right? Some pieces here. Your box is not, it's not bursting or anything. I see a decent, like, assortment of gear, right? Some, like, a lot of gear is not leveled. Yeah, a lot of gear is not leveled, but when I look at your champions, most of them, they got, these are like 1 pieces, right? Like you win these pieces, like relentless pieces. Slayer set was very helpful to you. Like this is Defiant, Slayer. Defiant, Relentless. Yeah, more Slayer. So I mean, you probably already went into like the Forge Pass. So I think another Forge Pass would be useful just to get some more damage gear. I'm not saying that you have damage dealers that you need to gear out, but like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess you don't really need it. You're kind of just looking for the 6-star gear pieces, for example. Cold Heart. You don't need 100% crit rate on Cold Heart. You need 70% crit rate, as high crit damage as you can. And probably early on, you do need some accuracy just to land your stuff. Yeah, masteries on her would be helpful. But yeah, otherwise, she is 60. I mean, you should probably use her, right? 70% crit rate. Let's see what your spider's doing. You did mention you needed some help on your spider teams. Level 20. What are you doing for level 20 here? Level 20. Really need a decreased defense. You don't have a decreased defense. That is probably what you're missing from your clan boss team too. But I guess you have the ninja A1. In this case, you don't have the ninja A1. Unless you A1 in the beginning. So let's see how this team works. But yeah, I see 1600 energy banked up. So it's definitely something you can work on. Just spending some energy there. Wow. Odin laying the smackdown. Look at that. Ninja should probably open with her, with his A3. Wow. That is an interesting team. And Odin is an absolute monster. This cohort, yeah, this cohort can definitely do better if she was geared a little bit more differently. With 70% crit rate, with more crit damage, you can definitely do better. I like it. It's an interesting team. It's a very interesting team. Let's see that again. That's a very interesting team. So I like it. I mean, Odin's massive here, right? You got decreased speed, slam, slam. Did Ninja use his A3 and nobody got frozen? Is that possible? Is that possible? That's such a this interesting team. I like it. Yeah, Ninja opens with the A3, but nobody got frozen. How so? How does that work? Priority, priority. Cool. I mean, it works. 30-second team. It works. Yeah, definitely spend some time, you know, farming up Spider when there's a Spider event happening. There's no reason why she should be the lead, right? Does it matter here? You could go resist in all battles. I don't know if it matters, but you could go resist in all battles instead. But yeah, this cohort definitely can be rebuilt. You can squeeze out more damage from her, maybe speed up this run a little bit. But it looks good. I mean, you know, 25 seconds, it looks good. So no complaints there. If you're looking to progress in Spider, you probably, at least for 21 up to 25, you're looking for an AoE HP burn champion. So you don't really have that right now. So that's going to be something you can, something to work and look out for in the future. Let's see what we have here. You don't really have it. These are not super viable. Is Scrank viable? No. Oh, wait. AoE, 3 turn. Maybe. Yeah, Scrank could be viable. Could make a team for Scrank. It would be Scrank, Cold Heart. Don't know if he's going to be able to do it himself. But yeah, that's going to be the key for Spider 21 and beyond. It's going to be HP burn. At least you have Scrank right now. Akoth from Doom Tower is going to be the next boss that's going to be helpful for you. Sorry, is next champion that you're going to get from the Doom Tower secret rooms. So after you complete the secret rooms, you're going to be getting your epic champion. So first you're going to get Archmage Helmet. You don't have Helmet yet, so you're still working towards him. But after Helmet is Akoth, which is champion that can solo those Spider stages. So somebody's to look out for in the near future. Miscreated Monster is also a very, very good Spider champion in general, but he's still 40 on your account for now. I see for Dragon here, you're going to be stuck at 24. 24 is not a bad spot to be stuck at. It's more efficient in terms of farming like 6-star epic gear than 25. So you're going to get more quality pieces here from 24. It's better for basically like mid game all the way to like early end game players where 6-star epic pieces are still very good. Just because, yeah, and 25 is just less efficient. So 24 is not a bad spot for Dragon there. Is that your highest? Fire Knight, usually people do 25 because it's better affinity. Red affinity is usually hard for champions like Allure and Royal Guard and stuff to get through. So 25 is a little bit better here, but these don't look super fast. Not sure if you're farming Fire Knight. Personally, Spider is going to be your big bottleneck, but you can do 20, which is really good. That's a good speed for 20. So definitely, you know, farm up Spider, get some better accessories for your champions. You need at least proper accessories, like proper, you know, amulets, proper banners. You can't be running like defense banners on like Wukong and stuff. So you definitely need some better accessories there. So I would spend some energy farming there. Like if you have like a Spider tournament, you know, pick up some easy rewards there and stuff. Ice Golem usually dies to poisons relatively easily. Ninja's a good Ice Golem killer, but of course Ice Golem can be volatile because he can kill you in one slam as well. But you do have Necrit to keep your guys alive, so maybe Ice Golem's okay. Personally, the way like I progressed in the game was like I went Dragon, and then I went Spider. Fire Knight and Ice Golem both came pretty late for me. And this was like without any Forge Pass or any kind of ignore defense damage gear. I didn't have that for a long time. I just had teams that were good enough just to do events, like basically 20. So I didn't progress too much and didn't spend any extra energy. So most of my stuff was just dragon, picking up like the speed gear and stuff. I think you'll definitely benefit a lot, but just by doing faction wars, getting a bit higher, getting more crafts, crafting perception. Perception can definitely help you round out some champions that need accuracy. So definitely something to work on. Your clan boss looks pretty set. I did offer you some pointers there. In terms of Hydra, I'm not sure what you're working on Hydra. You got 11 million normal team carried by the ninja here. You got Odin carried. I don't think that team's going to be able to do it for hard, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I don't think you don't have many 60s to do this. That's the problem, right? Like once you start building up like more champions, you can maybe start thinking about Hydra a little bit. If this team can only do 11 on normal, it's probably going to do much less on hard, and you need 20 on hard. And this is by far your best team. Your best champions are going to be here. So you're probably going to be stuck on normal for a little bit. I mean, and it makes sense, right? Like you just don't have enough 60s to really do too much more. It's good that you can get the first stone skin chest here, so at least you get that kind of going on for you. And like I said, Cursed City and Siege, you just pick up whatever you can. Doom Tower, same thing. I would probably suggest that you work on Drexar. Drexar is an absolute monster for Doom Tower bosses. Even though like immediately you might not see, a lot of use for him, he definitely comes in clutch when your roster is not really too helpful. Just because of his passive, right? His passive HP burn is very, very strong against bosses. And, there's going to be some Doom Tower bosses that's going to give you some trouble. So definitely work on him. And that just means working on your tag team. As mentioned, definitely work on your regular arena. It's just going to give you some extra stats. Since it's the weekend, you're probably going to look for at least 200. Like I would give you, like, if I could give you some homework, I would say like shoot for 200 matches by the weekend. That would be my suggestion. And then you would be, it would still take you 2.5, 3 years to complete the Great Hall. It's not something you can buy progress in, so it's just something you just have to do if you want to play this game and get all the stats, right? So just something you should do. In terms of fusion prep for the future, you definitely have an account that can do the fusions based on the progress of your dungeons, but you just don't have the shards, right? So I would recommend, since you can do Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, I would recommend maybe saving your shards for maybe like a month, and then after a month you can basically do any fusion. You should be able to collect, a handful of sacreds, a couple dozen ancients, a couple dozen void shards just by doing Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, and you should be able to handle any fusion, especially since you have 1500 mystery shards as well. So if you're interested in trying to do fusions, you have the progress level on your account, the capability to do so, I would say relatively easily, if you can pick up some shards. The silver is going to be a little bit of a pain, but you do have some gems, you do have some energy. I think it should be okay for you to do most fusions, but I would say at least a month of saving up before you can consistently probably tackle a fusion. In terms of what's next for your roster, I would probably look to 60 Odin. For sure, make sure you give him, the best stats possible. He's an incredible champion. Finish off his masteries and all that stuff. Finish off the masteries for Cold Heart. Rebuild her a bit for 70% crit rate instead of 100% crit rate. And just keep farming, right? Keep farming Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. Working that 3 key if you can do it. If you have to do a 4 key, then so be it. That's what you're working with right now. So that's how everyone struggles in the beginning, right? Work on your arena, work on your faction wars. Those are pretty big like freebies in terms of like just free resources. Obviously, if you can basically line up some of your whatever your priorities are in game with resources from these events, it's just extra free events for you. I noticed your inbox has nothing, which is actually a little bit interesting because that means you just have nothing saved up. So it might mean that you're just not active or not picking up some of the free stuff, right? So for example, like you have no shards to participate in this champion chase. You're not really participating in this dragon attack, even though you have energy sitting in your bank. this is another thing too. So every day you are regenerating 480 energy if you play this game basically consistently. If you play this game every 6 hours and run down your energy, you can take advantage of that 480 energy per day. So this is what I did and still do to a very high level. I basically use my energy every day, and it's never capped out, and that's how I can constantly pad my account with resources. So having it capped out like this, you're basically giving up 480 energy every day, all that free regen energy. And for an account like this, like it's new and stuff, you definitely, the 480 energy definitely goes a long way, right? After like 5 days, you basically have one fully mastered champion every 5 days. Every 5 days you're sitting like this, you're losing a fully mastered champion. And 2000 energy in gear or silver. It makes a big difference, guys. So I know, a lot of people like they basically like leave it capped because they're trying to plan for a fusion or whatever, but it only makes sense if you have no time. But if you have time and you're active, then run it down, use the free energy, pad your account with resources. But anyways, thank you, Quongo. Like, there's a lot to digest, right? I went through a lot for your account. I think it's a great account. It's a good start. You obviously did some research, and at least some pretty good, at least your builds look pretty good. You have a decent, clan boss team that kind of works with what you got. And, like your Spire team was pretty cool. I like that. But there's definitely some areas where it's very, very lacking. Faction Wars, Arena. You have a decent Arena team. You can make it work. Definitely work on your Faction Wars. Definitely farm up some gear. But yeah. Anyways, hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it gave you a little bit of help and direction. Thank you for allowing me to show everybody this account. I think it's a good start. You can keep working on it, and yeah, hopefully we'll see some good progress from you in the near future. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching to the end. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any advice for Quongo here. Are you guys in a similar position as him? And yeah, I mean, he said he spent a decent amount of money, like $2,000 already. So he does have more progress than the regular level 60 player, but he did have his lumps and bumps along the way, as we all do. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.